she, they pronouns, and I'm coming to you from my home here in the Blackstone Valley of Massachusetts, where I live with my two cats, Frog and Toad, who are actually here with us today, and my partner David. I usually keep the cats out of my bedroom when I film, but I think today they just wanted to be around. If they get to be a bit of a nuisance, I will take a break and kick them out. But for now, I think they're just gonna hang out. So today, it's been a few weeks, I think, since my last podcast, and I only have one design that I'm working on. Monogamous knitter problems. But I do have a finished object, so, and I'm actually wearing it right now. This is officially the final Lenna top version. I do intend on making a lot more of these, and I'm gonna do like the same kind of idea, V-neck in the front, the lace down the center, but I'm gonna do much less cropped. As you can see, this just hits my waist. Actually, it might even be a little bit above my waist, but that's what I wanted. This is the first crop top I've ever owned in my entire life. I've worn it twice now, and I feel so confident wearing it. It's a really big step for me. I used to be a lot heavier, and I lost 25 pounds, I think it was, starting at like the beginning of COVID. I kind of started doing like biking indoors. I had one of those, I stole my mom's recumbent bike, and I used to do a lot of biking watching Grey's Anatomy. And so anyways, I lost a ton of weight, and I feel a lot more confident in my body shape, and I felt like I was ready for a crop top. So let me actually stand up. This is how I was wearing it today. Show you that. There's a tiny little snag somewhere, but that's how I was wearing it today. The skirt that I'm wearing is actually a sleeveless dress, but I have to wear it as a skirt because it doesn't stay on well enough at all, so I can't wear it as a dress anymore. I tried, I think, a month ago, and I was at a fair, and I was setting up my tent, and I went to go like hoist the tent up, and as you can imagine, everything went up and out, so I no longer wear this as a dress, but it's perfect. It sits right where I want it to wear it with this top, and I feel extremely confident in it. I went out to lunch with my sisters, we got hibachi, and it was amazing. So this is the finished Lenna top. Like I said, I will be attempting to make more of these. I want one to be a much looser version, and have, I don't know if I want it to be like a t-shirt or if I still want it to be a tank top, but with, you know, thicker straps. This is just like one little cord. It's actually not an I-cord. I did, I think, 12 stitches across, but being stockinette, it curled right up and it looks like an I-cord, so I like it. I just left it as it is. I decided to not care about any of the curling whatsoever. I'm just gonna wear it how I wear it. But I love the design in the front. I love the lace down the center. I think it looks amazing. This is super flattering on me. I did some bust shaping, I did side shaping, I did everything to get this to be form-fitting, and this is like the most form-fitting garment that I own. I think this is the most form-fitting garment that I own. I feel so confident in it. It's like changed my life. So this is my only finished object. I think I finished it a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when my last episode was. I think I finished it like a couple days after my last episode. So I don't know when that was. But I have one work in progress, and I have a lot to say about it. I first want to start with, there goes my pencil, the design idea, and let me get it up. So this is my little sketch that I did, and actually it doesn't, I mean, it looks kind of like the sketch, kind of. It changed. This project has changed a lot while I've knit it. I wanted, I don't know if you could see my notes, I wrote poncho-esque. I want it to be a summer poncho, kind of. So very like longish sleeves, and then from the elbow it'll taper into the body and then do a nice bit of ribbing down. And that's exactly what I've done. I wanted this to be filled with texture. I wanted every inch of this to be fun to look at, fun to touch, everything. And I think I've achieved that. So let me start with the yarn. And I think I showed this in my last episode. This is the yarn that I'm working with. It is 100% cotton. I love this color. The lighting today is much warmer because the sun is shining directly into my window right here, so I had to cover it with the shade because it's really hot out today and I didn't feel like baking in the sun while I recorded. So this is coming out much warmer on camera than it is in person. It's actually a very cool color, but I love it. And let me do the swatches next. So I went from being a knitter who did no swatches for any projects whatsoever to, oh, I'm dropping them, doing 5 swatches for this project. So let me show you those. Oh my god, what was my first one? I think this was my first one. I can't really remember. No, you know what? It was this one. This is my first one. So I did this more to kind of see. I wanted all the textures to be kind of like diamonds. I wanted it to feel like diamonds. So I was testing out a bunch of different stitches. Every garter row is to separate, so like there's different textures in each section. And honestly, I did all of these, and these, like, I don't know if you would really call this blocking. I threw this in water for like 10 seconds until it was wet through, and then pulled it out and let it dry. So I wouldn't really call it blocking, but just to kind of lay it flat and see how everything looks. I think it actually softens up the yarn like quite a bit, even just with 10 seconds. But I knew I wanted to do different textured sections and separate each of them by yarn over rows. So that little eyelet section, I think they're called eyelets. I think that's what you would call it. Again, experimenting with so many different textures, and in the end, I think I used 2 of them out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different textures that I tested out. I used 2 of them, and the rest I made up as I was knitting. So this project has morphed and turned into something else entirely as I've knit it, mainly just in terms of like the texture and stuff. Like the overall idea and the shape of it that I wanted all stayed the same, but it kind of grew into its own little thing there. This is another little swatch that I did. So what I did for this, actually I think I cast it on this way. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. What I did for this is, nope, I had it the right way the first time. For each of these long little stitches, I knit the stitch, but I wrapped the yarn around the needle twice. And then every time I went by it, I would just slip the whole thing. And I slipped it as if it were 2 stitches to kind of keep it to keep all of that yarn there. And after, let's see, so I would knit it with a double wrap on the right side, do a purl row, a knit row, a purl row, and then when I got back to the knit row, I would move it 2 stitches over, kind of cable it over 2 stitches, and then like unwrap all of it so that it became 1 stitch, and then again when I did that I did another double wrap and moved on. So I love this so much. I loved how it turned out. A bit of a pain in the butt to knit, but I love it. And then the last one was, oh, I think I did really like this one, so I actually did incorporate this. It's just twisted knit stitches on, oh my god, don't focus on my butt chin. Focus on this. There. It's just twisted knit stitches with like 3 or 4 purl stitches in between them. And I did incorporate that into this design. So without further ado, let me show you how far I've gotten, because this has been the only thing that I've been working on. I haven't been knitting too much lately because I got back into Stardew Valley, and that's taking up a lot of my time. But when I'm not playing Stardew Valley, I am knitting on this. So let me show you. So I started with, no, let me show you the whole thing first. This is the top. I'm in love, like in love. Let me see if I can put it on without losing any stitches. That might be a challenge. Okay. Oh, we made it. Okay. So this is how she looks, and it goes down to much lower than my crop top, so it goes down to about hips, and this is all ribbing at the bottom. So these are all the different textures. As you can see, I only kept the double wrap knit X's, and then the rest of this I kind of just made up a little bit. I'm so in love with this. I think the sleeves I did want to be a little bit longer, but oh well. It turned out fine. I did short row shaping, a German short rows on the front here to kind of give it a little bit of shape on the shoulders, and then I did a lot of shaping in the back. I will take it off and show you the back, but this is, I am so in love with this. It's one of those few projects that on the first try is coming out exactly how I wanted, which is so thrilling. I think it's easier to do that when you're doing a project with so much positive ease. It's very easy to just fit into it, as opposed to garments like this where like it needs to fit right. So I started, just to talk a little bit about the construction, I started with these strips of garter stitch. So I did one big long shoulder strip. Oh my god, I'm having a really hard time showing this. There. So one big long strip of garter down each of the shoulders. I think I did 99 rows of garter, and then I did 2 of those, and then at the end I picked up across one of them, across the front. So I finished this, picked up all of the stitches along the side. I picked up 5 out of every 6 stitches, and then I began the short rows and shaping the neck on one side, and then I went onto the other side and did the same thing, and then joined with another 30 stitches across the neck. And then I think I only did a little bit of fabric. Where is it? I think I only did like 1 section of texture for the sleeve, and then I did 1 row of eyelets, and then I started decreasing on the side, and I just decreased, you know, on every right side, so all the way down until I got down to you know, a point where it actually just worked out perfectly somehow. Got down to 1 point, and then I was like, okay, that looks good, and then knit the ribbing, and there it was. I think it was easier too because I was like, you know, as soon as it gets to a point where I think it'll fit-ish around like my waist area, I think it'll like be fitted or with like 0 positive ease or something, 0 ease, and then I'll just do ribbing straight down and get it to the length that I like, and that worked out really well. And then I'm doing the same thing on the back. So the back, I picked up all of the stitches, cast on I think 40 stitches across the neck gap. Let me see if I can flip this around without losing stitches. That's always, I don't have any needle stoppers, so I lose stitches a lot because this is very slippery yarn on metal. The cotton just slides right off all the time. So, but anyways, so I cast on 40 stitches across the back, and then you can see, maybe you can see a little bit right there in the center, I cast on another 10 stitches in the middle so that I had 50 across the back neck. Picked up the same number of stitches on either side of the garter, and then I did a ton of short row shaping across the back, and I decided not to do any texture in the areas where I was doing short row shaping. I figured just make life easy for myself. So did the little eyelet, and then the back is gonna be one big design. So I think it'll be easier if I insert a picture of the chart that I did, but I also did draw it out. Let me get it. Every time I decide to record, I get hiccups. Every single time. This is the sketch that I did. So all of the lines are going to be the twisted rib. Or is it twisted rib? They're twisted knit stitches, and there's like 7 purl stitches between them. I don't think that counts as rib at that point. And then on what I've done is like on this area where there's like nothing there, the body decreases will be going on, but I want to say it's like a broken seed stitch or broken moss stitch or something. Let me just show you on the thing. I'll just show you on the garment. But I think the way that I did it, I think I did the reverse of it. So I think like the wrong side actually is the right side. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this very well. So like this is the wrong side of my project, but I think the broken seed stitch is like the right side on this side. And then this is the right side of the garment. And honestly, I don't know if this is like the best yarn to showcase this stitch very well. I don't really know. I think the back side honestly looks a little bit better, and I wish I had done that instead. But it is what it is now, and I've committed. I am going to finish this. It's really time consuming to get across each row when there are this many stitches. I started with 214 stitches, and I've only just begun decreasing on the body. These are all sleeve stitches right here, and then this is just starting the body decreases. So I haven't gotten very far on the back, outside of all the shaping at the top. I think as far as finishing this garment, I didn't have anything really fancy in mind. I think I'm actually just gonna leave the neck opening like as it is. I hadn't planned on adding like any I-cord or any ribbing or anything like that. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. The sleeves, I might add some ribbing. I don't know yet. I think I think like 2.5 to 3 inches of ribbing might be cute, actually. I don't want it to be like fitted ribbing, I just kind of like the look of the ribbing. I think that would look really nice when this is all joined together like that. And then down the side of the body and at the bottom it's just going to be seamed up right there. I had originally thought that I would do another strip of garter and like attach it down the side to seam it up, but I don't think I'm going to do that after all. If I do, it'll be such a thin strip of garter because I originally thought that I would match this strip. That's kind of wide though. I think that would add too much extra on the sides. Because this is already, you can see this is very big and boxy, just the way I wanted it. Like, this is gonna be a lot. I've used up so much yarn for this project already. Like, if you watched one of my previous episodes, this cone was a lot fatter. I think it had like an extra like inch of yarn on it. I've used a lot of yarn for this project. But anyways, I'm in love with it. I think now that I've gotten, oh, excuse me. I think now that I've gotten to the body shaping part where I get to decrease the body and like the rows get shorter and shorter, it's gonna start going a lot faster and I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more. Toad's at my feet. You wanna come up, Toad? Okay, my camera overheated, so I think I was done talking about my project though. Toad is still here with us though. Yes. This is my baby cat. She is the only one that will let me hold her like this and give her little belly rubs. Yeah. Frog, not so much. But Toad loves, they both love to snuggle honestly, but Toad loves to give me her stomach. Anyways, that was actually it for projects. I don't have any new art that I've been doing. I am planning on releasing new sticker sheets in my website, especially fall themed sticker sheets. So I want to do it a little bit differently this time though. More chicken designs as usual. I love chickens. I love designing them in different seasonal ways. I want to do like a traditional painting where I paint what I want the stickers to look like, and then I'll scan it into my computer and do stickers that way instead of designing everything digitally, because I find that I'm not really enjoying painting digitally as much as I am traditionally anymore. So, and that might just be because I haven't really gotten the hang of digital art yet. I don't know, but I am planning on doing chicken stickers, more of them. I already have a lot on my website, but that's in the works. And then I was at a fair recently and I wanted to share what I got. There was a woman there who is a sewer, and she made these little, she made all sorts of bags, little, just little tiny things to like put stuff in. I got so excited to see all of it. Look at this little button, it's so cute, the little leaf. Oh my god. I love this. So I got this, it's got like the perfect length of a strap. I got 2 of those bowl holders for like when you microwave stuff and you pull it out and the bowl's really, really hot. So then you just put it in one of these little things and eat it like that. I got 2 of those from her. And then I also got this I'm gonna use for little knitting notions. Look at that. Oh, that fabric is so pretty. I'm not a pink person, but I love this. And let me see, did she do, yep, a nice a nice pink lining. But that's okay, I love this. So I'm gonna do knitting notions in there. And then this is really interesting. I really liked her fabric choices for this. Oh, Toad's pulling on my strings. I really like this. And this is a tea caddy. So she sold it with little tea bags and like sugar packets in it. And that's so cute. I'm a huge tea person. If you don't already know, I have, here, let me see if I can show you. There's the cup of tea over there and the pot of tea over there. And I think these were some of my first tattoos. I'm a huge tea drinker. I really love it. I collect mugs. I search out really nice teas. My favorite is Irish breakfast. But every once in a while I do like other like fruity teas and stuff. But Irish breakfast is my favorite. I'm currently getting through, this brand is T.Kettle. It's just the letter T and then .kettle. And I want to say I got like 6.5 pounds of their Irish breakfast tea. They had a location in Rentham, Mass that was going out of business, and I just happened to be at the Rentham outlets that day, and I think I was grabbing like barbecue sauce or something from Pepper Palace. But anyways, I walked by and they were like 90% off loose leaf teas, like only open for another 2 days, and I was like, I got an embarrassing amount of tea. I think I might have enough tea for the next 2 or 3 years of consistent drinking every day and sharing some. Because that is a thing that ends up happening, is my family will like loan me something, like the cots that we were sleeping outside in the tent in. Me and my boyfriend were like lounging out there at some point or something like that. My family will like loan me something and then they'll be like, okay, you have to do readings and you have to give us tea in return. I was like, okay, fine. So I've been giving out all my good tea. But anyways, I think it was like $150 of tea. It was a lot of tea. But it was 90% off. So like that's realistically that's over $1,000 worth of tea that I brought home for only $150, and I could not be happier. I took there go my sugar packets. I took all of the Irish breakfast that they had left. I did get an organic English breakfast, which I haven't tried yet. And then I also got, there's one called Palm Punch that I haven't tried. And there might be like another, there's a peaches and cream one. I haven't tried that either. I've only gotten through the Irish breakfast, and I've gone through a lot of it already. So, eventually I'm gonna crack into the rest of those when I feel like having more fruity teas. I actually usually do fruity teas in the winter a lot, because I'll have my usual breakfast tea, and then later in the evening I'll be craving something warm to drink, and it's either hot chocolate or apple cider, or I'll do a nice hot tea and I'll do the fruity ones then. So that's usually one of my go-to drinks, is the fruity teas in winter. But when I go traveling, I can put little packets of something in here. The tea that I have is all loose leaf, so it doesn't come in tea bags, but I think I can probably buy empty tea bags and just fill them, right? Maybe? I can figure that out when I actually travel. Oh, speaking of, this has turned into much more of a life chat now, but anyways, David and I are planning to go to Scotland in December, and I am super excited about that. I have never even owned a passport. I still don't even have the passport in my hands yet. We applied for it on August 6th, so only like a couple weeks ago. So we're getting our passports, and as soon as those come in, we are planning a trip to Scotland. We're going to explore the Highlands and all the castles and stuff over the winter. we're leaving on my birthday, so we're leaving on December 28th, and then we're coming back a week or like 8-9 days later. It's like the following Friday. It's like January 7th. So we're gonna stay for New Year's. We actually haven't decided if we want to extend it to 2 weeks, but at least one. If you are anywhere near Scotland or like the Highlands of Scotland, I think we're flying into Edinburgh. If I'm sorry, now they're fighting right behind me. I'm ignoring it. If you have places that I can shop for a nice Scottish wool, or like places that we can go see, castles, like little hidden gems out in the area, please leave me a comment. Let me know, because we are looking for things to do. We have never looked it up before. We don't know anything about Scotland, to be quite honest, but we're really excited to go. I love the show Outlander, and I think that's given me like a hyperinflated view of Scotland and like all of the lands and stuff. I mean, I'm sure it is actually that beautiful, but I just want to go and see it. Winter probably isn't the right time to go see like the splendor of it in like basking in sunlight and the lands and everything, the golden glow of summer. Winter's probably not the right time to do that. So, but we are very excited nonetheless to go see it all and experience that. So let me think now. Do I have any other life news? Okay, my camera overheated again, so sorry about that. I think we only have a couple little things to finish up anyways. I hope the lighting is a little bit better. I did crack my shade a little bit to let some light in because it got a little bit too dark. But back to the last few life updates. I did get a new phone, finally. I have been using a refurbished iPhone 6S for, I don't even know how many years, a lot of years. 7, 8, 9, I don't know when I got it. But I finally got a new phone, so I did get the newer one. It was very expensive, but I'm hoping that I don't even have a case for it yet. It hasn't come in the mail. I think that with the newer camera and everything on it, and a lot more storage space, I was shocked. My 6S only had 32 gigabytes of storage, and I ran out a long time ago. I could only record like 30-second videos, and then that'd be it. My storage would be full. The lowest one is 128, which is what I got, and that sounds insane to me. I remember when that used to be like the absolute most amount of storage you could get for a phone. But to stop rambling, I think with all of that extra storage space and with the nicer cameras, I can start doing more vloggy type stuff, or like inserting B-roll here or there, or you know, taking little clips of me actually knitting, or like going out and things like that, so that I can make this a little bit more vlog style instead of me just talking at you about my knitting. I am trying to be better about being a little bit more conversational when I record, so that maybe you have like something you can actually comment on down below or something, or like feedback you can give, or you know, other ways that I can start like chatting with you guys in some way about knitting instead of me just talking all the time at the screen, because that's something that I really looked forward to when I started doing this podcast, is I really wanted to meet new knitters, especially in my area if I could find them, because there is a knitting group that meets in my town in the library. It's only like 5 minutes away, but they meet during a time when I work, so I can't actually go, which is really sad, because I did go once or twice before my work schedule got changed, and the ladies there are so nice, and I miss going. I miss having that little time to be with other creatives, other crafters, especially fiber creatives. I love the knitting community, and I wish I could find more people that I can talk to about it, because I don't have anyone in my life that is a knitter or a crocheter or really anything like that. I do have one friend who crochets, but she lives in Utah, unfortunately. Hi, Hannah. I miss you. And it's actually funny, I only have met her once. I met her on the plane ride while I was coming back home from visiting my brother in Utah. And she took out her crochet and I took out my knitting, and we really hit it off, and we've talked pretty much every day since that trip to Utah like 2 or 3 years ago now. I'm going to her wedding. She's engaged now. I'm very excited for that. But anyways, that's my only crafty friend that I have currently in my life, and I really want to meet more people. So if you are in the New England area, like at all within travel distance, I would love to know you. Even like online, I would love to have long distance knitting friends. It's been a dream of mine to do like a virtual knit hangout with like people all over the place. I would love to do that. I work from home, so I am home all the time anyways. I would love to like sit down and knit with people. I think that would be super fun. Or just craft with people. Any craft. If you sew, great. Come on in. If you weave, awesome. Anything else? So yeah, really looking for crafty friends. And I'm hoping to do more vloggy style stuff in the future, but still like crafting related stuff. I think it is time to wrap it up because all of this talking has made me lose my ability to form sentences very well. I can feel it slowly draining out of my head. I can no longer do sentences. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know what you're knitting on, especially if you've designed something yourself. I would love to see what kinds of things you guys are creating for yourself, or like if you're heavily modding a pattern, or that was another thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't yet. Oh, I'll just leave it out. I'll do it in the next one. There's actually a bunch of patterns like that other people have designed that I'm actually really interested. I opened up the application. It's not an official Ravelry app for your phone. It's called Alpaca, but it is Ravelry. Let me actually just open it and I can show you. So it's called Alpaca. It's this little, it has like a little blue alpaca logo, and it's, oh, I hope my screen's gonna pick it up. So it's literally Ravelry. These are all like the new patterns that have come out, and then you can go to, here's like my notebook with all the stuff that I've made and like things in my queue, and I can update it whenever. You can like zoom out and it'll show you like where nearby shops are. Like it's a, oh, let's see if you can, like it's a really, really nice app. You can search the library. I have all my saved searches, so you can search everything out there that's on Ravelry. I love this app. I use it all the time. But anyways, I was scrolling through here, and there's all of like these new patterns that I think it's Philcolana just released. Let me see. It says it's from Philcolana, and like all of their like jazz inspired patterns, and there's like 10 of them that I literally just went through, and I was like, oh, I want to knit that, oh my god, I want to knit that, and just like went on and on and on and on, and I was like, holy crap, like if this isn't a book, I want the entire book because I want to knit every single pattern in here. And that's never happened to me before, where I was like, I actually want to knit that right there and like not like come up with my own, you know. And the other one is actually the Soho top. I saved that one. I really like that pattern. It just looks so easy to wear, and like it would go with everything. I really want to knit that, so eventually I'm going to get there and actually start knitting from other people's patterns and not my own designs. So I'm really excited to do that. I guess I threw that in there at the end anyways. This has been the longest goodbye of my life, and my family is great at long goodbyes. It takes us like 15 minutes to say goodbye every time. So I think that right there is officially the last. I will see you in another week, 2 weeks, depends on when I get this project finished and cast on the next design or cast on the next pattern. I will talk all about that in the next episode. So hopefully it will only take me 1 to 2 weeks to have some more things to share. In the meantime, thank you all so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what I'm sharing here, give it a like. If you want to stick around, see some more, maybe subscribe, leave me a comment, especially if you want to connect and be online knitter friends. Have a good night, guys. Bye. And here's Froggy. Frog is interesting because she has to be sitting facing the left. She will not let me hold her if she's facing the right. Are you done? Okay, goodbye. Thanks for joining us.